Hey everyone, welcome back to another wrestling review featuring myself and Campo.Reviews, who now reviews wrestling on top of movies and TV
The
shows.
name makes sense.
The name works. The name works. Before we get into nice hard times, Death Day Rose, baby. I got Billy Van, hilarious
Yeah,
also
keep it
praised
going. Keep it going.
with the Transylvania logo on the
Ooh, I
Brucey on
didn't
the
see that last time. That's
yeah,
nice.
yeah. Yeah. So before we get on with our review, I just want to remind you guys that I do have a Discord server starting next Monday. I'll start posting some gameplay of a scary Halloween game with the final video I'll be posting on Halloween night. So make sure you stay tuned for that. More wrestling reviews coming. There's going to be reviews of Bound for Glory tomorrow. There's going to be reviews of Halloween Havoc, Survivor Series, Crown Jewel, Full Gear, you name it, we're doing it. So make sure you guys stay tuned in the following weeks for that. If you need any information on that, they will be in the Discord server. So go on and check that out. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this with your friends because I'm trying to grow this channel. My goal is 250 subs before the end of the year. So I think we can do that. With that out of the way, Campo, thanks again for joining us. And this will be a review of Extreme Rules 2022 pay per view that happened this past Saturday. And I've noticed that's a trend. WWE has been posting their pay-per-views on Saturday now and not Sunday. Have you noticed that?
Yes, and also I just gotta admit, like for New Japan, I'm okay with it because
Mhm.
their Sunday is like or in my morning.
Yeah.
But like with Saturdays is the logical choice here.
Yeah.
Even Friday nights. Like
Which is
why
what
Sundays?
Impact does.
Like I just don't get Fridays. Sorry, Sundays. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, people are getting ready. They got to go to work Monday morning. They don't want to stay up to like, especially if it's an AEW pay-per-view
Oh
that's
yeah,
going
you're
to be
gonna be
six
here till
hours long.
you'll be here at 5 in the morning still watching.
I remember one year, Russell, it was WrestleMania. It was before they went to the two nights, and the show ended at 2 o'clock in the morning. I started work the next day at 5.
Wait, hold on. A WWE pay-per-view went for that long?
It started at 8 till 2 a.m. It was an 8 hour show
What the hell is
or a
that?
6 hour show. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I think it was WrestleMania. That was the year Rollins won.
Mhm.
The when he cashed in the money in the
So
bank
we
on.
heard a
Yeah.
lot about that.
We're going back. It's almost 10 years now. But yeah. So let's with that out of the way, let's get into the review. We'll start with our first match of the night. We had a Sheamus, Butch, and Ridge Holland, which is the Brawling Brutes against Imperium of Gunter, Giovanni Vinci, and Ludwig Kaiser. Before the match even starts, we get that little white rabbit tease again.
Yeah, well, we got some things for that. Actually, you know what? Can I say something first since we're
Sure.
talking about time of wrestling? I had something in my eye.
Absolutely.
Um, I don't really necessarily care for the length of it. Like it could stay the same length, but they need to apply more matches to the card. There needs to be more exposure for up and coming wrestlers or storylines that are actually happening because a lot of this doesn't feel worth like my if I was paying for pay-per-view still, which I guess I obviously know I'm not, this doesn't feel worth it. If you're watching a B pay-per-view, you're getting 5, maybe 6 fights. If you're
Yep.
watching a premium one, you're getting possibly a seventh fight. There needs to be 8 7 8 fights every time, maybe
Well,
even 9.
I agree with you on that situation because if you take this card and then you take a card like Bound for Glory, on Bound for Glory, every title was defended. Every
Yeah,
single one of them was defended.
which we'll get to that when we get to that. But
Yeah.
I mean, like, you don't have to go New Japan levels because the last one is like today's 4.5 hours.
Yeah, that one
And
was
and
long.
AEW puts on some long ones. It's fine. But if the product's good, I'll take it. But like 9 matches is not me asking you for a lot. You have the talent to put on nine
Yeah.
matches.
And they
The,
don't have to be 25, 30 minute matches. Give me a 6 minute match.
yeah.
I
And
agree.
and they do a lot of matches in WWE that feel like okay at the end of them. I'm like, all right. Like it's not in the vein of New Japan where the matches are sometimes like the whole bottom card of every match, the first stuff or of every
Yeah.
pay per view is just irrelevant matches that don't even make sense.
Like
Why
this
you're
one,
showing me
like
that?
this one. Gunther's beaten Sheamus twice.
Yes, and this match, well, I explained it. Okay, so let's go into the pay per view
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Because like this did not feel like a blow off match. You know you're gonna get another match. So
This should have this 100%, no matter what the outcome was, should have been the blow off match.
mhm.
It wasn't the blow off match. I know for a fact it's not.
Yeah.
And the outcome of this match only happens for a reason.
Yeah. So you get a right rabbit tease. It started off really good. I enjoyed the first maybe 5 minutes of the match.
And then everyone just disappeared.
Yeah. There was a lull in it. You could hear the crickets in the crowd because they were quiet. And like
It's funny because that that happens again a little later, but this case, so specifically what happens, they're all fighting. Butch and Cassidy, just naming
Kaiser
them whatever I want. These guys, they don't deserve names.
and the
These,
Sundance
the
Kid.
four of these guys, honestly, like I don't even know how these are people on your main card, but then you have people on NXT that so deserve to be here.
Yeah.
Um, the four other guys that are not Gunther and
Sheamus
disappear from the match, only to reappear when needed to break up a pin.
Yeah.
And then get knocked out again. So I was like, and then nothing happens. The real match starts when it's Sheamus and Gunther. And then whatever happens. Then the match becomes nothing again. Then all six guys get in the ring. And it's like, it was the worst possible way to do a 6-man tag.
Yeah. And the way Sheamus, when he took that shillelagh to the back, like that looked like it hurt.
When he hit Gunther in the head, he really hit him in the head.
Yeah. In comparison to the next match, which we'll get into, but it was a nothing match, and he didn't even get his retribution on Gunther. Ludwig Kaiser took the pin.
Yeah, and okay, so Sheamus and the boys go over.
Yeah.
But it's so strange to me because in a match that should have been your blow-off match, you give Sheamus the win, which is understandable, but you did it in a way so he still didn't beat Gunther, which means it can't be a blow-off match.
No, there's going to be another match.
And it's like, I'm okay watching this, but
WWE we're getting these six again in a Survivor Series match.
The teams are going to grow.
Yeah, but you're getting at least these six guys. There's going to be a rematch between Sheamus and Gunther at Crown Jewel, and then there's also going to be that's
for sure. And at that point, I will be like, this has gone on way too long in typical WWE fashion, where a feud goes for 2.5 years, even one that's not worthy of our time. I mean, this one was okay, but like, I got to get something else out of the way here.
Yeah,
Butch. Like, and I don't mean this in an offensive way, but I just find it so strange. He looks like a woman. Like, he has the legs of a woman wrestler, not a man wrestler. He wears a brokini. He's not even wearing like a singlet. It's like a bathing suit.
Yeah.
And it just looks so weird. He has long hair too, and he has a fake spray tan. Like, it doesn't look right to me.
I hear you. It's a little off-putting. Once you told me that, like when you told me that we were watching, I was like,
it's the legs. I couldn't
unsee it after that. I couldn't unsee it after that.
If you just erase the upper half of his body, you would think that that's like Alexa Bliss or something. Like,
well,
you
wouldn't even know. Bear tattoo on his knee, maybe. Well, I don't know. Some women do have that. But, then the match got a little too long. Like, it was over 20 minutes. I think this match, it was way too
every match on this card was too long.
Yeah, even the short matches were way too long. But Sheamus and the boys go over. And this feud's going to continue.
This wasn't a bad match. It just overstayed its welcome, and
that's exactly it.
And especially because the 20 minutes is full of just pausing for things to happen.
Yeah, like when Sheamus disappeared for 10 minutes when they were destroyed at the bar.
Yeah, exactly.
But I was good. The exact time was 17, almost 18 minutes. This match.
You know how I wanted this match to go?
Mm.
Do you remember? There was an old WWE pay-per-view. I don't remember which one it was, but they had a barroom brawl where legit they were all just a bunch of guys in the bar, and whoever falls over, you're out of the match.
I think that was the APA.
Yeah, that was
Farouk
APA.
and Bradshaw.
And Bradshaw won, but for some reason Bradshaw gets the win in that, which didn't make any sense.
Yes.
But
that's what they should have done. They need to have it in an actual bar. Yeah. Go on to the next match. was Ronda Rousey versus Liv Morgan in an Extreme Rules match for the WWE Women's SmackDown Women's Championship.
So I have lots of feelings on this match,
Yeah,
and
it was
Liv
an
Morgan
ugly
is
match.
it's someone who I back 100%. But now that she's on the main card, she's like a main eventer right now.
Mm-hmm.
She's completely been exposed for all of her weaknesses, and the character in this situation doesn't work. It
No.
works as like a plucky underdog. It doesn't work when you're defending your title against real monsters and it doesn't have that Rey Mysterio vibe. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She doesn't feel like she has a chance ever. There's no like, don't worry, Rey Mysterio's always got a chance. No, it never feels like Liv Morgan has a chance. And I called
Rey
this.
Mysterio shows heart
Yeah.
is what like Liv Morgan
Right?
didn't. She
There's
was just
Darby Allin has like heart.
yeah.
Liv
Orange
Morgan is just
Cassidy,
like
even though he
one,
loses
two,
all the time.
three, move. One. And that's
That's
something
what
I
I
noticed
have
in this
here.
match. Okay, so I'll let you get to it too, but you can see she's like waits for spots. She runs to a spot and then waits because she got there too early, or she's trying to make sure she's on time. And
or when she's thrown off when something doesn't go right, like the chair. When there's a spot where she set up the chair between the two turnbuckles, and she was gonna do a slingshot into the chair. She was going to slingshot Becky into or not Becky, sorry, Ronda into the chair. The chair falls off, and you can see she loses her thing. So she botches the move the first time, and then she attempts it again, but this time there's no chair there.
I mean, that's a huge situation, period. Yeah. And it's like, it just came off like it really comes off like if you were learning how to dance, like on like So You Think You Can, or like Dancing with the Stars, where it's like someone who doesn't know how to dance, and at first they're like completely lost and they're just trying not to screw up. That's how she feels all the time.
I associate it more to like a toddler learning something. You know how when a toddler is learning something, he'll take those steps, surround his area, and then do it.
Yeah, and
that's what it felt like. It's like, okay, I did this. I'm mentally thinking, what am I going to do next? Okay, what's the next spot? Okay, and you could see her planning those thoughts out, both of them.
But Ronda's like, okay, I'm not going to go to my way and say she's good at this, but her acting in the ring sells everything that was happening.
Yes,
her bullying of Ronda, of Liv, her verbal bullying, the way that she sold the injuries. It completely works in this match to the point where I was convinced that Ronda was trying to hurt her. Like,
but Liv was the heel. This is what I don't understand.
And Liv's fake tough guy thing doesn't work. They need to cut that out. But like, did you see the thing I sent you? Apparently, there's rumors that Seth Rollins and Liv Morgan are going to have ties to something.
Yes, to something that's going to happen later on in the evening. Seth Rollins, I don't think so, but definitely I could see Liv being part of that because it's the one thing I wanted to bring up was the bat, that fake plastic bat. Like you could hear the plastic.
Okay, but when Ronda was hitting her, it sounded like it was making a lot of noise. Okay, it really did. But when she hit Ronda, it didn't sound right.
No,
it was like Ronda knew where. Like maybe Liv is not like a athlete, so Ronda was like, okay, I'm going to hit you with the right part of the bat to make
that sound.
But like, also, I don't know if it was seriously like a wiffle ball bat or something like that, because it left a huge bruise on Liv's stomach. She had a bruise all the way across her stomach immediately.
But it's probably the way Ronda hit her.
That was a crazy spot. I could not believe Liv took that. She jumped right into a full bat swing.
Yeah. But then as she's hitting Rousey, you can see it's not hurting her.
And it made a different noise. It was like a plunking sound.
But she puts Liv in a weird submission. She chokes out Liv. Liv gets choked out. She doesn't tap out. She doesn't submit, but she passes out, and that's how Ronda wins the championship.
Wait. Ronda wins, and like I called this before. I think that this is going to lead to a Baszler feud, and Liv Morgan is going to get removed. Liv Morgan's going to get put into a faction where she's no longer going to be a main eventer, like how Rhea Ripley is right now.
Yeah. Or kind of like the way Julia Hart is in the.
Yeah, but Julia Hart is still a lot more raw than Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan has had a lot more time in the ring and doesn't even remotely have the potential that I think Julia Hart does. Anyways, I digress.
Yeah.
Liv
So
Morgan at one point, listen, I got to tell you this, okay? Liv Morgan comes out of the ring. Ronda Rousey's like running to the ring post, okay? Ronda Rousey throws her gi at Liv
Morgan,
Morgan, and Liv Morgan visibly gets hurt by it in kayfabe. She was like hurt by the gi. Then this is
she
was my
sold it. She oversold it.
soul getting hit by a friggin' robe in the face. Then she takes it off her head too fast, and Ronda wasn't ready for the spot yet, and it was like she had to pause, and then she pretended she was like lost in it
Just
again.
lost
She's
in
like
it.
spinning on the thing. I was like, what is happening?
Yeah,
Was
it
this
was.
okay? This match was like the first match. It wasn't terrible for me. I know you didn't like that much. This was way more fun than the first match. It was so much more entertaining, but it was not a good match.
No, no, it was not a good match. Not at all. Like I said though, Rousey is your new champ. She chokes out Liv. Liv passes out, but as she's passing out, she's laughing. It looked like she had like a laugh. She was laughing as she was getting
Okay,
choked out.
this is why I thought that this is added to my feeling of like Ronda is actually mad at her because okay, so when they broke the table,
Mm-hmm.
okay, she did a swanton or
Yeah.
sorry, a senton and
Senton. Yeah.
landed directly on top of Ronda. You're not supposed to
Yes.
do that.
No, you kind of gotta.
Landed right ass first on her stomach, broke her through the table. Okay, then she picked her up when she was in the armbar and smashed her down head first again on the table. So if when you see her like in that hold, Ronda's really like squeezing her face. You can see her face like getting. I
And
don't
Liv
think
is
she's
laughing because
laughing.
she knows she's getting a receipt for what
She's
she
like,
did.
oh crap. She's like, this girl's really trying to hurt me. I think that was like the look on her face was like, oh crap, I'm getting.
Yeah.
She's trying to hurt me.
But yeah, you're right though. It's gonna lead to a Baszler feud, and eventually Charlotte's coming back to win it.
Yeah, they
That's
even show a Charlotte promo
yeah.
in this
They
randomly
telegraphed.
out
Yeah,
of nowhere though, like at the end of the pay per view, like just out of like why wouldn't you show it after this
it was
match?
right before the main event.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I
but
was really baffled by that. Plus, there's this whole Miz and Loomis thing going around
with Gritty,
with Gritty, and that was pretty funny. I'm
I
not gonna
like the
lie,
Gritty. I like the Gritty segments. Gritty's the
because he
best.
thought the whole time Gritty is Loomis.
Yes, that's exactly it. Then we got the third match of the night, which was Drew McIntyre versus Karrion Kross in a strap match. Match starts off really like it's 5 minutes before they even get in the ring. Like they're beating each other around the ring. They're like
Just
Karrion Kross teases that he's not going to put the strap on, kind of thing. And
it was a really I don't know how to describe this match at all.
yeah,
It was very strange.
and
And it was just an absolute pummeling for Drew McIntyre. He
yeah,
did not have one offensive moment until the
nope.
very end of the match when he hit the what is it called, Back to the Future?
This Future Shock DDT.
Yeah, and then he just
Back
he
to
was
the Future is what's his name? Kazarian.
yeah, they're the same people. They're all the same to me, wrestlers. Um, but yeah, I was like,
Yeah, it was a brutal beatdown of Drew McIntyre, and right when he and like it's like you said, it was dominated. And I mentioned this to you, and while we were watching it, I said like, what is it? Whenever there's a stipulation match, wrestling moves get thrown out the window.
it just becomes like they're just punching.
Yeah, that's exactly it. There was no actual like. You would think like my first thought, if I'm in a strap match, my first thought is I'm going around the guy and trying to choke the guy out as soon as I get the strap.
Or I'm gonna whip him with the strap a bunch of times.
Yeah,
Instead, he put him on the other side of the ring post and just kept pulling him into it. But like, I mean, you're a big guy. You could just hold on to the ring post and not have
yeah.
to get pulled around. It's Drew McIntyre's not smaller than this guy.
No, they're the same size. They're
So
about the
like
same.
the pummeling doesn't make sense to me,
Mm-hmm.
except to put him over. And that then tells us basically that Drew McIntyre is just a company man who's trying to help a guy get over. But
Yeah.
this match ended with a dumb friggin'
The
interference.
yes. The end of the match came, and I even put it's a weak card so far. Scarlett jumps in the ring, and she gets between Drew as he's about to perform the bro kick, the claymore, whatever it's called. They're both the same move. The claymore onto Karrion Kross, and she gets in the way, and he kind of moves her out of the way, and she pulls him back, and she pepper sprays him in the eye. Like, really? Like, that's the finish?
Apparently, pepper spray knocks you out
Okay. But
if
yeah,
you're Scarlett Bordeaux.
yeah. And then what's his name? He chokes out. Did he choke out? Yeah. He submitted Drew, right?
I don't even remember what happened. He lost.
Yeah, he
This is how
lost.
much this match mattered at this point.
Yeah.
This
And that's
match
the thing
lost me
too.
like 4 minutes into it.
It was a pinfall match. It was a pinfall, but like, yeah, and that's the thing too. The actual in-ring match time from bell to bell was 10 minutes, but it was about more than that. It was almost like 20 minutes. Like,
Oh yeah, he picked him up when he got pepper sprayed and he did his finishing move and then he pinned him.
yeah. But like too long. Like it's another and I put this after this match. I go, Bailey and Bianca and Seth and Thing better save this card, or else this is going to be the worst card of the year.
I don't know about that. Maybe since we started watching this, I don't know. Night 2 of WrestleMania was pretty bad.
Yeah, it was, but we also rated Money in the Bank pretty low too.
I didn't give Money in the Bank that low. Money in the Bank was pretty entertaining.
You gave it a 7. I'm looking at the scores.
Hey, are you sure I gave it a 7?
Yep,
You want me? I gotta have to look this up.
we'll look
Anyways,
it up. But
this
yeah,
match was doo doo butter.
yes, it was. It was. Um, but it was down there, and let's move on to something that was a little bit better, which was Bailey versus Bianca Belair in a ladder match for the WWE Women's Raw Women's Championship.
Well, one of your hopes was true.
Yes, this match was really good. This was a strong showing by Bianca. Bailey seems to be getting back into form.
Bailey was really good.
Yeah.
And she's a great heel. The fact
Yeah.
that they kept her as that stupid hugging character for so long makes no sense. Now that
Yeah,
you see this,
but like like in the last pay-per-view, you said you didn't see what you were expecting. Like you felt like Bailey was maybe left behind, like compared to the other women that were still
yeah,
there. And I think I told you she just needed a little time to catch up, and she definitely showed it in this match. Like some of the spots they both had, like there was that the was it she did the handspring moonsault into the ladder. Like it was like
yeah, they did the elbow drop in the ladder. There
yeah.
was, or was it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was
Yeah,
an elbow drop.
they had the ladder set up between the ring and the
Yeah,
barricade,
ladder bridge.
and she
Whenever that
jumped.
happens,
And she
something
jumped
bad's
off
gonna
the top
happen.
rope. Like that was an insane spot. Like this is a girl who spent a year and a half off with a knee injury, and like she's putting her body through this. Not even like how many months in?
Okay, so the big issue I had with this match is that neither one of them. Okay, so one would beat up the other one for a while. They would go
Mm-hmm.
on offense, and it was a pretty brutal attack. And then out of nowhere, the other person was just back in the match, would do a
Yep.
brutal attack on that person for a little bit. Then all of a sudden, that like there was no one was selling any injury.
Yeah.
You would sell it during the offense until it was your turn to go on offense, and then immediately just wake up. And maybe that's just the acting part of
That's
wrestling,
the
but they
WWE
both
booking,
don't
I
seem
think.
to
Yeah.
get that.
Yeah.
Like if this was AEW, they would have rolled on the floor. If this was New Japan,
They
they would
would
have
have rolled.
both stayed on the floor for like ever. You would have got
Yeah.
a 20 count. They would have ran back in the ring at the last second.
Yeah. But what is it? There was a really sick spot after Bailey's crew jumped in. Like Bailey's crew, like which was
Okay, we
sorry, go
obviously
ahead.
expected this to happen.
Yeah, but I also expected Bliss and Oscar to come out, but they
No,
never
they
did.
mentioned that they were injured 4,000 times.
But
Okay.
that means nothing.
No, WWE foreshadows everything with what the announcers are saying.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so dark out here. Hulk Hogan might come out. I don't know yet, but it's really dark. And then, oh yeah, he came
Here
from the
comes
darkness. Like no shit, you've been saying it for
yeah.
2.5 hours.
But there was one really sick spot. Bianca had both Dakota and Io on her shoulders, and she did the double KOD on.
And for me, like it looked great, but like if I'm here for wrestling, how did you hurt the person that was on top? They just landed on top of the other person. The other person's the one that hit the fucking mat.
Well, yeah, they hurt each other when they hit each other.
I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was funny too. It's like, okay, so Bailey was now finally someone's selling. Bailey's nowhere to be found for this whole time. This whole thing's happening, and then all of a sudden, as soon as that happens, she shows up in the ring again, and it was like, oh, okay.
But I mean, we got some great like near spots, like when Bailey's on the ground, Bianca kind of jumps over her and runs up the ladder, and Bailey pulls her down.
Yeah, there was some really good ones. The usage of her hair,
Yeah.
The putting her under the ladder and then she like bench pressed the
Uses her
ladder over.
strength. Yeah. Just that's showing like the strength of
And
Bianca, right?
Bailey could have won the match really early on and chose not to in favor of beating the crap out of Bianca more. But
Yeah.
that's what I want to see in wrestling.
Exactly. It told a story. It told it
The
finally
in-ring
told.
story here was great.
Yeah.
This is the only match so far that has any in-ring story.
Yes. So with that said, Bianca climbs the ladder. Uh she did they broke the ladder. There was a spot where they broke the ladder in half, but Bianca climbs the ladder. She retains the championship. This feud is still not over.
No, definitely not. And there's nowhere else for uh Bianca to go. So
There's
this
nobody
is
out
really
there
the
right
only
now.
option. There's
Yeah.
not in WWE's women, like there's not that there's not a lot of talented ones, there are, but when you're looking at it from how they tell stories, there's
Yeah.
nobody.
No, because you can't put Asuka or Bliss in that situation now because they're
They're on her
established as a
team.
yeah, exactly. And that could
Well,
cause tension and whatever. But
it's
moving on.
really weird how you never say Bliss's first name.
Yeah, because I have my echo right behind me that if I say her first name, she'll
Uh,
answer me. Right, Alexa? There she goes.
the little flicker.
Yeah. Going on to the next match, we have Edge versus Finn Balor in an I Quit match. Finn Balor comes out with this gimp mask. I don't know
I don't know.
what fetish shop he bought this at, but
Searching
I,
for fetish shop.
um, there was I like the early submissions for that quick I quit spot. There was I like the hockey stick spot.
Okay, well, let's talk about this for a second. Okay, number one, the goddamn live microphone was
Yes.
so brutal. Listening to someone go for 20 minutes was so frustrating. Like I wanted to, yeah, like I
Basically
honestly
it.
I could not deal with it. It was so bad. Like I just had to turn my sound off at one point. I just could not deal with the noise.
Yeah.
Um, was there good moments in this match? Yes, but it was pretty boring.
Yeah.
It
And
got really
it was a
repetitive really
long match
fast.
too. It was the longest match on the card. This was 30 minutes.
Like Finn is still has it,
Yeah,
and Edge
absolutely.
has enough, especially at his age, to compete.
Yeah.
But he's not even remotely in a class with Balor.
No,
You
you
could
could see
see
he's lost that little bit of a step.
Balor had to really carry this, and when Balor went on offense, it was for really long.
Yeah.
When Edge went on offense, it was for very short periods.
Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely. Um is it? I like there was the whole spot. The rest of Judgment Day shows up. They handcuff Edge to the ropes. They start beating the
it
shit
got
out of
really
him.
gimmicky. I liked a
Yeah,
lot of the in the crowd stuff. That was fun.
yeah.
When they came back, I liked Beth Phoenix coming out. That
Well,
was
that's the
really
thing.
fun.
We'll move on to that. That's where the finish takes place. Dominic Mysterio takes out his father, and Ray's like dead on the
Well,
ground at
Ray
this point.
comes out, by the way, if
Yeah,
anyone didn't notice.
yeah. Because the rest of Judgment Day came out. Ray came to help. Dominic knocks him out. Like,
This is a thing that I struggle with. And okay, call me crazy for asking for WCW style booking, but when AEW is on their A game and it's like making sense to me. Oh, they're beating the crap out of Wardlow. It's over, and then boom, Samoa Joe shows up, and that's the moment,
yeah,
right? In WWE, they book the heels always to seem like they don't feel like they're unbeatable, but they book them in a way that they make them seem like it. But you don't,
yeah.
they don't. It doesn't come off like
It's
that. So it's
for
like
them. It's the more strength in
you're
numbers
telling me
kind of
there's
thing.
nobody in that backstage that likes Edge enough that can't wanted to come out and help. Like there
Yeah.
was no big comeback from someone who just came back from injury who's gonna run out and help him. Do you know what I mean?
What if someone like a Ricochet came out?
Yeah,
Even
like literally anybody.
like think about
Chris
the pop
Jericho
Ricochet.
can come out. I don't care.
Yeah, like comes out, throws a fireball like the way Scarlett did to Drew last week.
No, he's way better at it. Okay. But it's just like
But no, it's
it
true.
leaves me with a bad taste in my mouth that you're now making me watch 20 minutes of a guy getting beaten up by these fetish crew who's just like breathing on him, and it's so weird. Their obsession with him is weird.
Is weird,
It
yeah.
doesn't come off as cool or crazy. It's just weird.
It comes off as gimmicky. So
Yeah.
the finish of the match came when Beth Phoenix finally shows up. what's her name? Rhea Ripley was she gonna hit her with the kendo or hit Edge with the kendo or
And
something
then
like
she
that?
takes it and she beats the crap out of everybody with it,
Yeah.
and that was well deserved.
And she gets that hope spot as well. And then the moment came, and it's like Edge wouldn't quit no matter what. Like, he can get the shit beat out of him, but as soon as his wife's in danger, that's when all you have to do is say it. And but
And
you knew they were going to still do it anyway.
well, of course, because back in the days, Edge and Christian would have concertoed anybody without
Yeah,
even if they did it. So you knew that was going to happen. But by the way, they've invented this spot as far as I know.
yeah, they
Um,
did.
but it's like, first of all, Rey Mysterio never came back to life,
No,
even
he
when
was
the
dead.
match was
He
over.
was dead.
Like he
That's it. He's
literally
done.
died. I don't know what the hell just happened on my
Yeah,
flight. But yeah, it got to the point where it was like, okay. And then yes, he said I quit. And I guess this is a good way to protect Edge.
yeah,
But at the same time, now it's like when you're gonna have this blow off, because this obviously can't be the blow off. It should have been. Never have an I quit match in your entire company. It's the stupidest
no,
match.
absolutely.
Um, but like I don't want this blow off match now. I don't want to watch Edge get beat up for because I no longer believe that Edge is capable of beating them because they're gonna cheat every
Yeah,
time.
because the next match is either going to be a mixed tag match.
It's gonna be Rey Mysterio, Edge, someone else, and Beth Phoenix against the four of them.
Yeah.
They're gonna find one more partner. It's gonna happen, and it's gonna be someone crazy imposing. It's gonna be like Kane, or you know what I mean. It's not gonna be Kane, but
Almost.
yeah. Oh, maybe I don't want that, please.
But yeah, Judgment Day goes over like they've done
Maybe
every
it'll be
other.
Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, but I mean that's the thing. You didn't have Bobby Lashley on the card defending his, even though they want the belts to mean something. You didn't have any of the bloodline on this card. It felt like such a low tier show.
And just like, can I have any other match? Can I just have any other match? I'm surprised they didn't just make I know she's injured, but like the typical Becky Lynch match that's at every single pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Oh, and I called it spot friggin' on. I was talking to somebody. I'll even show you the message. I like there's gonna be a stupid ass table spot where their dumb breakaway table breaks
Yep.
instead of using a real
Mm-hmm.
table. And then someone's gonna get speared through the time clock's wall. And that's
Yep.
exactly what
And that's
happened.
exactly what happened. Like I said, this is another one. Like, you would think a show like Extreme Rules is the blow off to all the feuds, but
And
it's just
that kind of seemed like what they were going for here, why you don't have those other people like you said. But at the same time, it was like this match. Okay, so you had three matches. I have no other words for them.
yeah,
And then you had a really good ladder match, really
yeah.
good. Like not Razor Ramon, Shawn Michaels good, but like it was good.
It was a good, yeah,
And then you had whatever this match was that had flashes of greatness, but it just ended up being a spectacle that I didn't want to watch. You just wasted so much of my
yeah.
time.
They could have ended this a lot sooner. It didn't have to go 30 minutes.
And
AJ
then
Styles, that's the other one. That's the other one that's going to join Edge and Rey
there, and
Mysterio.
I'll take that any day.
Yeah.
AJ Styles has been brushed aside from the main event scene, and he's like their best wrestler. So
yeah,
I don't. Just give me AJ Styles versus Finn Balor every single pay per view.
I'll take that. I'll take that. But yeah, this feud is going to continue. All 5 of these feuds that we've seen so far will continue, as well as the next one, I think, because you have the next match is our main event of the night. It's Rollins versus Riddle. I like the concept of this cage with an upper level.
Yeah,
It's a cool concept.
it needs more wrestlers.
Yeah. If this were like a War Games match where there's like a 6 people in the ring type of thing, that would be cool. But
Yeah, this match, the Daniel Cormier parts were funny.
yeah, I'm the ref. You listen to me.
He got really fat.
Yeah.
Like he's only been retired for like a really small amount of time, and he got
like a
gigantic.
year or so. Yeah. I also noticed that the ring ropes were removed from this match as well.
I guess that's what the Charlotte Flair promo was for.
Yeah, is to kill time. So 5 minutes in, the the crowd still chanting Rollins's theme song. Like it's hilarious how
It's so
over.
it's because it's over, man.
Yeah,
Like they don't care if he's the heel or not. He's okay. He's arguably the best wrestler in WWE,
he is, and that's why he's been main eventing every show.
and I don't blame it. It's just like when's it going to be my turn? You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like he deserves to have all the titles, not Roman Reigns.
yeah,
And he could get over with the fans even as a stupid ass heel like Roman Reigns. I don't
yeah,
understand why this was your choice.
yeah.
He's a better in every single way than Roman Reigns.
Because the crowd was, even though Rollins is the heel and Riddle is the face, the crowd was behind Rollins.
Exactly. And imagine a heel team of Becky Lynch and him. That's just
Yeah.
that's
Yes,
where it's
please.
at.
Yes, please.
But
Go ahead.
anyways, this match had a few fun spots, but in the end, it was like really boring.
Yeah, it wasn't Rollins's best.
Rollins is pretty good. Matt Riddle does not belong in a ring with
No.
Seth Rollins.
Okay, let's just put it this way. Let's rephrase that then. This is not the Matt Riddle we got in the last pay-per-view,
No.
right? Which was the last one, which was the Clash at the Castle. Yeah.
Yeah, that where he wrestled really well. This was
Yeah.
not that.
This was not that. You would think in a match that favors Riddle, a cage match, former UFC fighter, that he'd be better at this. Like, and he
That's
started.
very vaguely used the term UFC fighter because he very, very shortly
Okay, but I
almost
mean, at the
wrestled
beginning of
in.
the match, though, you saw Riddle. He had those flashes with the kicks and the strikes. He started off really, really strong, and somewhere along the way, he lost it.
And I genuinely, there's a spot at the end, which I don't know if you're ready to get there, but I
Sure,
genuinely think he hurt himself.
with the swan the
The
senton.
Swanton done right, by the way, Liv
Yeah,
Morgan, take notes,
yeah.
where he barely grazed
Seth
Seth
Rollins.
Rollins, but he landed so hard on his tailbone.
You could tell he bruised his tailbone on that spot. Like
He
he
was
was.
screaming.
Yeah, yeah. I think he's good. The feud's continuing, and but the thing is, Riddle's going to be out of in ring action for at least a few weeks with that.
Yeah,
But
they're gonna pause it till like the
Crown Jewel,
no, they'll pass Crown Jewel.
you think so? This
They-
this will go right to Survivor Series.
I don't know. They're gonna have singles matches on Survivor Series.
Oh yeah,
Then yeah, probably.
okay, but yeah, yeah. So Rollins actually loses. He taps out to Riddle, so that's why we're saying that it's now 1-1, and this feud is going to continue.
Yeah. Did once again, Rollins is a company man,
Yep.
and he's here to put on a show, and that's what I want, and that was good, and good work.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. It wasn't. This was a good match. I'm not
Yeah.
okay. I should rephrase that, but it was kind of boring.
Yeah.
Like there was like when they went up to the top, I was like, oh, this is gonna get cool. And then when Seth Rollins falls off the top and he's like grabs onto it with one arm just so he didn't friggin' like fly off.
Yeah. But there were like even there were like cool spots where Rollins trying to run into Riddle, and he kind of grabs the chain and he swings around it, kind of like there were moments. It just there wasn't enough of those moments. You know what I mean? But in terms of matches, though, this was the match that had the most wrestling.
Yeah, it's just like the only match that had wrestling.
Yeah, this match had the most wrestling, so I got to give it that. I really think these last three matches saved the rest of the pay-per-view.
They did, and the fact that two of them were not like spectacular, they were just good,
Good.
is
Yeah.
like Extreme Rules is so based around these dumb stipulations.
Yeah. Not every match needs to have a stipulation. That's the thing.
You could have
Like,
just did every single one of the matches in that cage, and I would have been happy.
yeah. Yeah, that's absolutely. But the real star of the show came at the end after Riddle standing on the platform with Cormier, hands up in the air. The lights go out. All you see all of a sudden are all the fireflies come out, as they call them. You see Huskus the pig. You see Mercy Buzzard. You see Ramblin' Rabbit. Basically, all the Firefly Funhouse characters in human form. You see a reincarnation of the Fiend. If you notice, the Abby the Witch character had Luke Harper's old mask on her face. Um, and then you hear the Firefly Funhouse theme, this and that. Lights go out. Bray Wyatt shows up, brand new mask with basically a new gimmick. and the crowd is going absolutely berserk for this one. This was a huge pop for Wyatt.
Yeah, and they try to show you that the family funhouse or whatever the hell it's called is like it's over, like everything's broken in there, and
Yeah,
he's moved on from that.
yeah. And that's what he does. Every time he reinvents his gimmick, he moves on from that. Like the whole when he was doing the Firefly Funhouse, the Mercy the Buzzard was his Bray Wyatt character from NXT, like that cult leader type of thing with the Hawaiian shirt and
Which
all
this
that.
is where it becomes weird for me because I think you need to give him back a Wyatt family.
Yeah,
Um,
which I think they're doing.
which that's fine. And I hope that they do it. But I also think that because he needs to be imposing,
Yeah,
right? And it's like you need to be like NWO level imposing, where it's like there's no you're gonna get effed up every time. And I feel like this sucks because Alexa Bliss was good at doing what she was doing
yeah.
with him, and now she's been turned back. So you can't really. Can you turn her back? Like, does she still have?
No,
She still has the doll, right?
most likely that spot will go to Liv Morgan.
Which doesn't make sense because why wouldn't you just bring Alexa Bliss back?
Right.
But you can't because of what you've done.
There were rumors floating around that some of the people under the mask, like the one under the Fiend mask, was his brother Bo Dallas, and the guy who was wearing the Mercy the Buzzard costume with the Hawaiian shirt was NXT's Grayson Waller.
So who is the other people? They don't
One of
know.
them I think was also the guys in NXT Schism Dyad. Was it Joe Gacy and whatever those guys are?
I would like just give me Dexter Loomis.
Dexter Loomis is his own thing. I like Dexter Loomis as
But I
himself.
mean, like, I feel like all the psycho killer people should be in one group.
Just have like this homicidal maniac,
Yeah, it's like it makes sense to me.
serial killer,
The
Jeffrey
cereal
Dahmer.
crew, and they just
Yeah,
eat cereal all the time.
yes, absolutely. But this was another thing that kind of saved the pay-per-view as well, was the return of Wyatt. Obviously the worst kept secret in wrestling at this moment. Like
But I don't think
everybody,
they cared.
no,
People still wanted it.
I think it would have been worse if they didn't have him debut.
But this is what you need to do now. He needs to go pedal to the metal, destroying the entire roster and get the title right away. And they need to make him look like a force, like an absolute monster that cannot be beaten. Or else,
Yeah,
why did you bring him back?
yeah, just like absolutely obliterate Roman Reigns.
Yeah, like easily, like not like the dumb thing like last time where he won the title and then got destroyed.
By Goldberg.
Yeah, like give me a break.
Yeah, no. If he comes in, he has to go on a rampage. Like just everybody destroying. I don't want to see squash matches with no name talent. I want to see squash matches
Yeah,
against Lashley, like against Owens, like against big name people. Like have him go through the Usos, have him destroy Sami Zayn. Like
yeah, just literally have matches where he comes in the ring, the lights go out, and then the lights come back on, and the person's knocked out, and he just pins them, and the match is over.
yeah,
Like go back to the old school stuff. Have people getting hit by cars and stuff and backstage, and he's just
yeah,
literally, and then like they come out
accidents
of the
that
car,
happen
yeah.
or something. Yeah,
Because like you need to make him seem like this is like Kane level. Remember when Kane came in?
yeah.
That's Kane, the
That's
Undertaker's
gotta be
brother. It's like,
Kane.
how did you know who that was? Like,
But
whatever.
yeah. Overall, like I said, the second half saved the rest of the show. Match of the night. Would you say is your match of the night? We're probably in agreement on this
Bianca
one.
Belair and
Same here.
Bailey.
Same
The
here.
worst match was the strap match.
Yeah, it was either that or at least, like you said, at least Liv Morgan had me somewhat entertained.
The Liv Morgan match was super entertaining. It's just from like being critical on it, it was not
Yeah,
a good match.
no. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. The I don't know, the yeah, I agree with that. Like, I mean, it's honorable. Give an honorable mention to the Rollins versus Riddle
I
match. It
will
was
because I
yeah,
think that's a really cool idea for a match, and I think you picked two pretty good guys. I just think for
yeah.
some reason Riddle didn't come off well there.
If this was Rollins and say a Kevin Owens,
If this was Rollins and Cody Rhodes, I would be very happy. I'm just gonna
yes, but
tell you
even
that.
Rollins and Owens, I would
Yeah,
love
yeah,
to.
I'll take some Kevin Owens. I think that
Yeah,
he's not being used properly.
yeah,
Give me
absolutely.
Sami Zayn in this match.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
Sami Zayn has like jump off thing type of skill, and
Yeah, Ms. Dexter Loomis, I'll take it.
do it in a Hell in a Cell so he can't get out.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
No, do the Edge match in a Hell in a Cell so they can't get in.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's good. Well, I mean, Survivor Series is War Games.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, that's do it. Make it those teams.
mhm.
That's Survivor Series. Make 5 on
Exactly.
5.
Exactly. Overall, I gave this show 6.9. I gave it a low score.
I didn't want to, but once you told me my Money in the Bank score was a 7, I was like, okay, I can't. I was gonna give it a 7, but I gotta go 6.9 because that's the first time we've ever had the same score.
Yeah,
I just it was not as good as it wasn't terrible, but it was not as good
as
as
good
Money
as
in the Bank.
yeah, and Money in the Bank wasn't that good. Like it's yeah,
Money in the Bank was okay.
you liked it a little better than I did. But
Is this so? Is this the lowest ranked pay per view you have?
no, night one, 6.
Yeah, me too.
WrestleMania,
Mine
sorry,
was a
WrestleMania
6.
night 2 was a 6.
Yeah, mine was a 6.
Money in the Bank was a 6.8, and this was a 6.9. Yeah.
You
But
like this better than Money in the Bank?
yeah, a little
That's
bit.
crazy.
Only because of the Wyatt return. That's what put it over was the Wyatt return.
This I don't know. WWE needs to get their B pay per views together. Like Clash at the Castle, I think was a one off
Yeah. But I like
because,
that one so much better.
but I think it's because they were trying to put on a show coming back to England. It was just
Yeah.
a whole thing, and in Backlash, I think it was only good because you redid all the best matches from
Yeah, it's a greatest hits package. I think I'll be honest, I think the show at Crown Jewel will be slightly better than this one because they have to put on a big show there. They have to put on a good show.
Yeah, just hopefully we don't get Goldberg and Brock Lesnar back.
No, I don't think. I think Brock's done with the company, to be honest.
No, apparently they're planning to bring him back for
Eh,
something.
as long as it's nothing big. But with that out of the way, guys, thanks again for joining us. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, trying to grow the channel. Let's get to 250 before the end of the year. And tune in tomorrow for our Bound for Glory review. We'll be on that one. We'll be all over that one. And other than that, you'll find all of Campo's stuff in the links in the bio below and go and give him a follow. Not only does he review wrestling, he reviews movies and TV shows, and sometimes I show up. So, but you guys
Most
know
of the
that.
time.
Anyway, with that out of the way, guys, thanks again for joining us, and we'll see y'all next time.